What's happening, everyone, and welcome to week 4 of Project Activation. We're going to continue this discussion on knowing what's required, part 2. Okay, I'm excited about this. I want to highlight 3 points and then catch me on live. Every Monday, Systems Lab Live, we'll be going more in depth. But when I talk about knowing what's required, I want to highlight a few things quickly for you all to consider for this week. And so, number one is when we're talking about requirements, we're talking about what's needed to get the job done. We're talking about what's exactly needed in order for insert project name, your virtual event, your coaching program, your NFT, your content work in the things that you're doing, your client project, whatever that is the project. I want you to put that in your head. And so knowing what's required is getting very specific. Okay, it's expectations. That's number one. When you have clearly defined requirements of what you need to get the job done, you know what to expect. You also can clearly communicate to your client, right, what they can expect at the end of the day, whether you're delivering a product, a service, an event, a process. Okay, so requirements help you to define the expectations. Number two, I also want you to get in the habit of categorizing your requirements. So what does that mean, Ashley? I'm so glad that you asked that. So what we're talking about is technical requirements, okay? So let's say, for instance, you are building out a product, okay? So let's think about the features. Let's think about the newest iPhone. What are we on? iPhone 16.2 or 17, whatever we are for the software updates. There are specific things that the Apple engineers and the Apple team, what they do. So they get really specific about particular features for the iPhone. So that's a technical requirement. But let's bring it back to some things for your launch that you're going to have. Maybe you're launching a particular podcast. So let's think about some of the technology requirements that you need. So you might need something for the website. You might also need a hosting platform. Okay. Also, when we talk about categorizing our particular requirements, I also want you to think of it from the perspective of, especially for the marketing piece of it, what are some content requirements that you have in that content category? Yeah. Let's start thinking of it in that perspective as well. Last but not least, what I want you to also think about too, and this one is gonna maybe throw you for a loop, is that when we talk about knowing what's required, right? We're talking about, number one, we want to get back to expectations. Number two, I talked about documenting the categories for the requirements as well. And number two, last but not least, when we're talking about knowing what's required, it's also being able to improve our communication. Yes, improving our communication. See, what happens is when we get specific about what we need, here's what we do. We're able to clearly articulate within our team members who's responsible for what. And then also, too, when it comes to the tasks and the assignments, we're clear on what exactly needs to be delivered. Okay? So that's all that I have for you all. What I would love for you to do as a call to action, number one, make sure that you are subscribed to the Systems Lab Live, my YouTube channel, but also to follow the show. But also, number two, start to write down in the categories what are some requirements that you need to keep track of. Okay, we talked about the technical requirements. Also, make sure that you have business requirements as well. So that means that you are matching it up to the business need for what you're creating, and then also to the content requirements. So those are the 3 categories. Let me know what you need help in. If this is helpful at all, make sure you share this video with a friend or two. All right, talk soon. Bye.